latest A.R.D. Consultancy Market Update with me, Andrew Dawkins, and
myself, Daniel Bajwoluk.
Lovely to have you with us. So we're discussing this month, October. How was October for you, Dan?
October was great for me. I turned 28 again. So I did have my birthday, so it was lovely. I had a lovely couple of weeks off as well.
Yeah, so saying you're looking tanned.
Am I? Still tanned? That's good, yes. Went to sunny Florida, which was lovely. Very nice. I heard you had some great weather while I was away too. So I was a bit jealous of that. But anyway, how did the markets fare in October?
Well, it's delighted to say it's a positive month for the portfolios and for most investments over the month of October. And I think we said it was the last seminar, we've never actually had 3 negative months in a row. So we were very close to getting that hat trick. But we were saved at the last minute with a good revival in fortunes of the market, especially the last week in October, for no apparent reason, because inflation continues to be high and going upwards in many areas. Unemployment remains in the UK and the US very low, and the banks are continuing this fiscal tightening, which is, I think, is doing more damage than it needs to by increasing interest rates worldwide. So on the back of that, though, the market seems to say, well, okay, perhaps the worst is behind us, and perhaps if we see recessions and slowdowns, the recessions and slowdowns aren't going to be too bad. The area that provided the biggest growth for most of the funds this month was European equities, which did very, very well on the back of some good results from a lot of companies that we own indirectly within the portfolio. The European Central Bank continues to push interest rates up, raising base rates by 0.75% in an effort to control inflation. But as we know, inflation was really brought about by the pandemic, and there ain't much politicians can do or central bankers can do to stop us wanting to go on holiday or catch up with the things that we've been missing out on during those periods of lockdown. And the US did again another stellar month for the US. It's our third best performing sector. The fixed interest market was the one that caught a little bit of steam this month, with positive gains in most of the fixed interest sectors apart from emerging markets. But it's the first time, I think we can say, this year that the fixed interest sector has been up. So that was encouraging. However, as we know, it's taken a real battering over the last year or 3. So it's going to take a good while for that sector to get back to where it was before.
So you mentioned the American and the European funds there. So how did the UK and the Asian funds perform?
Yeah, the UK was a good month really for the equities, especially for the larger companies held mostly within the FTSE 100. So they were up well over the month. The smaller companies, then, they take a wee while just to gain that confidence to come out of a cycle. But when the smaller companies start to move, they generally move quicker than the bigger stock holdings. So we had the bit of fiasco with the Liz Truss and the mini budget, which I think really she was pushed under the bus in terms of announcing to the House all these economic policies, but without having them costed, which was the real difficulty. One of the things that is very, very positive, though, is the price of wholesale gas has fallen significantly from a high of 300 euros per kilowatt hour to just over 100 euros per kilowatt hour. So that means that hopefully the government has less money to spend than supporting the energy price cap. And therefore that hopefully will give a bit more headroom to actually getting the real job done, which is to try and improve productivity and to bring back more capacity within the market, which is what we need. But the Bank of England putting up interest rates by 0.5% this time round. That took a little bit of stick because the Federal Reserve in America had put interest rates up by 0.75%. So the UK got a bit of unfair stick, I think, in the media for the decision. But really, as we've said so many times, I can't see how putting up interest rates actually helps anybody, because the inflation was caused by too much capacity, too much demand. And really, when we think about it, we were locked down for 1.5 years or 2 years in certain parts of the world. and we've got extra money to spend, and that's a consequence. So it's all really pandemic-led. Over in the Far East then, with President Xi getting another, well, probably lifetime license to continue to control the country there, and packing the political class there with his mates, then the market didn't take too kindly to that, because he has views on things like technology, stock and property sector, which are probably against the views of many people there, which spooked the markets a wee bit. But no doubt they'll recover. They're still pursuing the COVID zero policy, which doesn't help the rest of the world, China being a major exporting nation. We talk about the UK and the currency rate fluctuations there, but in Japan, they've seen the price of the yen take a real hammering against the US dollar, and the Bank of Japan again having to step in and support the yen to try and bring some order to markets. So but it's not a UK issue, it's not a European issue, it's not even a Japanese issue, it's a worldwide issue. The only currency that's strengthening against the dollar is the Russian ruble. So, crazy world.
So then going forward, Andrew, what should we expect?
Probably more of the same, I think, Dan. Who knows? All these great experts we listen to, they prove to be just as wrong as they are right. So who knows? But the markets are sort of factoring in now, I think, the fact that inflation, fingers crossed, should be close to being at its maximum level. And over winter, inflation tends to get that wee bit higher as it costs more to heat and light and transport goods. So we're probably going to see inflation start peaking December, January, and then when we start seeing it come down, which will be into the spring of next year, that's when the recovery will be well and truly underway. But before then, markets always look sort of about 9 months in advance, so we should probably see index started picking up in a lot of the major sectors worldwide. Again, the big positive will be China relaxed its zero COVID policy if the war in Ukraine ended, and if central banks saw sense and started to reverse some of these interest rate hikes that they've been so happy to do over the last wee while. But fundamentally, again, we're seeing some really good returns from companies that we own shares in directly, and we've got almost full employment in the UK. We've got lots of positive signs, but unfortunately, we've got this media that's just stuck on doom and gloom, and they have been ever since Brexit. Probably ever since time started. But we just seem to wallow in it, whereas other parts of the world, they have the same issues as we do. But when I listen to some of the media over there, they're not quite as doom and gloomy as what we get over here. So buck yourselves up, media. Tell the facts as they are, and don't over dramatize things.
As we do every month, Andrew, we'll go through the portfolio performance over the last month, the last year, last 5 years and 10 years, and we'll start with the defensive portfolio.
So Dan, the defensive portfolio over the last month is up 1.6%, over the last year down 14%, over 5 years up 8%, and 10 years up 81%.
And the cautious portfolio?
1 month up 1.6%, 1 year down 13%, 5 years up 18%, and 10 years 117%.
And we'll move to the balanced portfolio.
Over the last month up 1.9%, over the last year down 14%, 5 years up 27%, and 10 years up 159%.
And the capital growth portfolio?
This month up 2%, over the year down 13%, 5 years up 31%, and 10 years up 192%.
And finally, my favorite, the aggressive portfolio.
Your favorite, most people's favorite. Over the last month, 2% up. Over the last year, down 12%. Over 5 years, up 40%. And over 10 years, up 229%.